Told y'all, man. I told y'all the boy is not to be trusted. He's CIA, FBI, COINTELPRO, all that. Trying to tell you, y'all. Y'all better, follow something real. Follow something authentic. Cause Charleston White ain't it. I be trying to warn y'all, man, about these dudes, man. Niggas don't be right. Niggas got ulterior motives. Niggas not really in it, you know, for the betterment of black people. Niggas is in it for self. You heard me. Niggas is in it for self, man. So Charleston White, who I told y'all a couple days ago, Austin Metcalf, it was fucked up, yo. I know Austin Metcalf's father is probably like, yo, what the fuck is this? Yo, this is a shit show. He don't know who to trust. He don't know who to trust. And that's just how the FBI and the CIA want it. He don't know who to trust. Yo, guys, he got so many. Somebody need to reach out to the Metcalf family and tell them holler at me. I'm trying to tell you. Holler at me, man. I ain't got the reach that them boys got, but at least I'm authentic. At least I'm authentic and real. And about what I say. I ain't no motherfucking plant. I ain't CIA. I ain't FBI. And I'm damn sure ain't COINTELPRO. Never worked with the federal government. Never been on the stand, testified on nobody. But Charleston White, for the last couple days, has been playing a character. And I'm going to keep it real. Carmelo Anthony, father, was a perfect target. It's a perfect target. It's sad, yo. This whole situation is sad. I think this might actually break up their marriage, to be honest. Like, yo, he gotta tighten up. Pops, you gotta tighten up, Pops. You gotta get some gangster in you, yo. Like, yo, your son just got railroaded, my nigga. Now, I never go Charleston White on you. You feel me? But, Pops, you gotta step it up. They just railroaded your son and tried to do it behind closed doors. You gotta find some people that's willing to fight. Authentic people. Not people with an agenda. Not people who's like controlled opposition. Not none of them people. Not none of them people. You gotta find some real people that's gonna be in your corner. Like for real though, straight up though, man. So look, let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Cause this live ain't gonna be long. This live ain't gonna be long. But this live, I couldn't wait till tomorrow to do it. So let me show y'all what's been going on. So in the last couple of days, Charleston White then waged a fake war on Austin Metcalf, father, Jeff. It's been a fake war. It's not real. I told y'all a couple days ago he chasing clout. So let me show you what I'm talking about. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
You're watching Tiki TV before as
No,
well,
not
if I'm
that.
not mistaken.
This ain't it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Key talk. Man, appreciate it, man. Key talk. Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Cause yo, this about yo, this is as real as it gets when it comes down to Carmelo Anthony. It don't get no realer than this.
Welcome back to Key Talk Media. This your host, Key Talk. Check it out, man.
Alright, so listen.
Even though you got money,
Listen to Charleston White.
Brand risk, which
Playing
could
a
actually
role.
be a good match, right? But this is what Charleston White had to say.
you goddamn right. But I ain't smart. I'm just an ignorant playing smart. I ain't no smart. I'm an ignorant motherfucking playing smart. If nothing else, I've stood over a white man and watched him die. That make me ignorant. You got to go talk to somebody else, ask what it's like for him to die. I wish Carmelo would have stayed and sat down over your son as he gasped for breath with a pencil hole in his chest. This died from a pencil poke. He's supposed to be some tough football player. This died from a pencil poke. Oh, I got hit in the eye with the pencil. I got poked in the eye with the pencil, boy. I went on to live life as a normal kid with one eye. Yo, boy, big old ass football player. You know what it is? Porn industry didn't take your wife. You lost her. You short, fat, pudgy, small, angry man. This died from a pencil poke. They come from a loving mother. Their mother did everything they can to distance themselves from that man that we see on TV talking without his family. See the difference between this little short Fred Flintstone? He's alone, angry, no support system. But he got a new truck thanks to Austin Metcalf's death. Got him a new truck. But you know who don't see him around? He don't have a wife. He don't have a girlfriend. He don't have a brother. He don't have a son that hugs him to show that someone's comforting. You know how miserable he got to be? He's worse than Carmelo. Because Carmelo is surrounded by a support system. I got a Muslim that run the prison where he's at right now. Been down there 27 years. He's protected. It's going to take a guard to kill him. Won't no inmate do it. I guarantee it. Metcalf, when I look at you, where's your wife, buddy? Who's wiping your tears? Who's who's washing your clothes while you so angry about the niggers? You lost your wife, not the BBC. The industry didn't take your wife. You lost her. You short, fat, pudgy, small, angry man. Little Michelin man. Little Michelin man. And you thought your boys was something. Till they met a little bitty like me. It's always the little Levy dog. It's always the little boys like David to kill Goliath. Your son was a Goliath. That other that watched his brother die in his arms, he's a coward. He's a coward like you, boy. I want to challenge you to a boxing match. Short. I would like to fight you on Aiden Ross brand wrist. About a week ago, Aiden Ross told me whenever I'm ready to fight again, I can come fight. I want to fight Austin Metcalf dad on brand wrist or in a UFC fight match. I want to fight you, boy. And I'll beat you in front of this living son you got. Beat your short. But boy, too bad. Your wife got a new boyfriend over there.
No, yo.
She got an 8-bedroom house now. She's never been able to afford.
Ain't no talking shit, Charleston. Yo, stop falling for the bullshit. Charleston White is controlled opposition. Charleston White Charleston White don't give a fuck about none of this shit, man. Charleston White want to boost himself in the algorithm. Like, why do y'all continues to keep falling for his nonsense and rhetoric? He attached himself to this Carmelo Anthony situation because he chasing clout. It's not because he care like me. I really care. I really think Carmelo Anthony was railroaded. And not because of the all-white jury or the jury left without black people. Because of the lack of defense. Because of the judge. You know, real reasons. Charleston White attached himself to this situation because he wanted clout off of it. And Austin Metcalf, I mean not Austin, Carmelo Anthony's father isn't, you know, I don't want to say knowledgeable. He green. He green. And he got all these people that's around him that he don't know who to trust. He don't know who to trust, man. And they manipulating this man. And he don't know which way to go. Because you got people like Charleston White and others that's willing to sit around this man, play cool, but they're really working for the opposition. So Charleston White went in on Austin Metcalf's father.
He's never been able to afford. You fucked her credit up. You fucked her whole life up, and she's still hurt by it. Mrs. Metcalf is so hurt, she won't even get on camera with you. She won't even share time or camera time with you, boy. If nothing else, Carmelo Anthony's father and family is still intact. The wife is still there. The mother, oh man, you lost your family, buddy. And because of that, you lost your son. Had you been a better father, a better husband, you could have stayed in the house with him. She couldn't take it anymore. From what I hear, she was tired of justifying the black eyes and bruises.
Well, the sad part about this is I think this is going to separate their family. Carmelo Anthony's father isn't, he's not an alpha male. And it hurts me to say this at this time because it's so much, they got so much going on. But it's like, bro, you sat there in the courtroom and watched them railroad your son, my nigga. You watched them railroad your son, bro. And still today, you trying to cover for people instead of exposing it all. I did a video 3 days ago and say, yo, get the fuck away from Charleston White. Get away from him. And it's sad, yo, that when families are faced with this, when black families are faced with this type of situation where they really need the community, they don't know who to trust. Because we done got to a point where we don't pick our voices. They pick them. They promote them. And people that don't know better watch these guys not knowing that, yo, these ain't who you think they ain't who you think they is, man. They're not the real speakers. They the speakers that was able to break through because they working for the opposition. So Charleston White was going in on Austin Metcalf's father only to turn around and do this. Only to turn around and do this. Check this out. He just dropped this 2 hours ago. Check him out.
Carmelo Anthony case, I ain't putting no goddamn money toward that boy. His daddy too goddamn weak for me. I don't like a weak nigga. His dad ain't willing to die, kill, or go to jail for nothing. That nigga just wants some bills paid. Carmelo, my heart go out to you if you ever see this video one day. Nigga, I'd rather stand with the Jeff Metcalf nigga than I would with Carmelo's daddy. Nigga is weak, dark side is conservative. I ain't standing with no weak ass black man, nigga. I'm off the case. I'm sending the money back. Go get them weak ass nigga Benjamin Crump and them. I'm out.
See, the thing is, right? He wasn't never for the family. He wasn't never for the family. Now I agree. Carmelo Anthony father is docile, and that's and that's how he was able. That's why he was able to be controlled and manipulated the way he was. But you can't go. You been through that. Like this, not something that you just found out today. You feel me? So for Charleston White to be moving how he moving and acting how he acting, you ain't just finding this out today, my nigga. You can tell by if Charleston White been talking to Carmelo Anthony for the last 6, 7, 8 months. You been knew this how he was. So why are you reacting this way now? Because he never cared. It was always about clout. You understand? He never really gave a fuck about Carmelo Anthony's situation or his father or anything involving that. It was all about bringing attention to myself. Just like I told y'all how Charleston White was when it came down to the juveniles. He never really cared about them kids. It was all about him and bringing attention to himself. If he got to use the kids to do it, that's what he's going to do. That's why I told y'all that you cannot separate content from character. You can't do it. Because if your character is intact, you can't do certain content. Stop allowing black people. Stop allowing these people to sell you nonsense. You cannot separate content from character. Look, like you see a lot of people leaving, but they'll watch Charleston White. But I'm real in real life. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not a dude that got on the internet and got fame and clout and no, hell no. I was me before I came to the internet. The internet don't make me. The internet makes people like Charleston White. Charleston White wasn't Charleston White until he got some internet fame. You go to my cities, people that know me in real life. And everything I say I stand on. I'm not playing the fucking character. And neither is Charleston White. But he's trying to trick people into believing he's playing the character so he can garner support and be able to flip-flop whenever it's necessary. Yo, with me, right? I'm going to tell y'all real quick, because I ain't going to be live long. It's not about if Carmelo Anthony is a murderer or not. My issue with the whole situation is, he didn't get a fair trial. He didn't get a fair trial. So, it ain't really about if he's a murderer or not. In the United States of America, everybody's supposed to have a fair trial. Carmelo Anthony and his family was preyed on. They was preyed on. He didn't get a fair trial at all. My thing is when it comes down to them, right? Is if he's guilty, he's guilty. But don't railroad him. Don't railroad him, man. Give him a fair trial like you'll get the next man. That's all I'm saying. Don't not let him get on the stand so the narrative can be, well, if it was really self-defense, why he ain't speak when y'all know good and goddamn well his defense attorney was working with the opposition and told him not to speak so they can create a narrative. See, this is the thing that people don't understand about media in these type of situations. He was told not to speak so they can create a narrative. Let me show y'all the narrative. His defense attorney was working with the opposition. Let me show y'all something. Watch this. Listen to this.
Let's keep up the good vibes, and let's make this table legendary. Bets are always open at BetMGM Casino.
I ain't nothing like the Jews. All right. I'm glad you asked that. All right. The reason why I say he didn't get a fair trial, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons. The first reason, the judge didn't allow no cameras in the courtroom. In state court, cameras are allowed in the courtroom. That's the first reason. And I'm not going to mention the jury not being black at all. The second reason, the defense lack of objections. They didn't object to nothing. The third reason, we dealing with a self-defense case, right? We dealing with, matter of fact, no, scratch that. We dealing with a first-degree murder case. And a first-degree murder case is about intent. You understand? It's about premeditation. Carmelo Anthony is the only one that can explain his mind frame and everything. He was told not to testify intentionally. Intentionally. The judge positioned Austin Metcalf family right in front of the jury. No, he wasn't a minor. He's 19. Right in front of the jury. The jury was, the family was crying, shedding tears. The judge did not one time tell the family, I'm gonna give you a warning. You can't show no emotion. And the reason why is because that can prejudice the jury. That can, the jury can watch a family grieving, and that can go into their decision making. The defense sat back and watched how, wow, the prosecution asked juvenile witnesses, not expert witnesses, but juveniles. The prosecution asked juveniles and young adults, was this first-degree murder or was it self-defense? Yo, they not adverse to answer that. They're not knowledgeable enough to answer that. Now, the prosecution can ask whatever they want to ask, but the defense is supposed to object to that. It was no objections. This is why I'm saying he was railroaded, and this is real shit. This ain't the shit that other people talking. This is real. You can look it up. You can Google it. It was no objection to anything. He got railroaded, man. He didn't, this wasn't first-degree murder. It wasn't first-degree murder. Let me show y'all something. What defines first-degree murder in Texas?
In Texas, the classification for what is considered first-degree murder is actually called capital murder. You can find the definitions in the Texas Penal Code, specifically sections 19.0.
What qualifies as capital murder?
Capital murder is an intentional killing with specific aggravating factors, leading to potential death penalty or life imprisonment. These factors include killings during other felonies, targeting specific professions, multiple victims, premeditated killings, or vulnerable people. Laws vary by state and federal jurisdictions.
Yo, Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf one time. He wasn't trying to kill him. He was scared. He made a bad decision. And like I said, I'm not saying that he don't deserve jail time. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it was self-defense. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Let me repeat it. I'm not saying that he don't deserve jail time. I'm not saying that it was self-defense. What I'm saying is it wasn't first-degree murder. The intent wasn't there. The motive wasn't there. They railroaded him. And the defense was in on it. And it's like, now the narrative is focused on the jury without black people, but that's not the most important thing that happened. The defense didn't put up a defense. The defense didn't put in no character witnesses. No character witnesses. No what you want to call them? What you call them motherfuckers? Man, I've been drinking this. I've been drinking wine. So you gotta forgive me. My mind is all over the place. But the defense didn't offer no expert witnesses. No experts. They could have brought a witness in. They could have brought an expert witness on bullying. No expert witnesses. They could have brought an expert witness on the brain of a juvenile and how sometimes they can lack comprehension or their judgment isn't the best. They can perceive a threat that's not really to the level of that's not really to the level of murder, just because they thinking the threat is bigger than what it is. Yo, he did none of that, y'all. Ineffective counsel. Yo, the defense was working with the prosecution, who was working with the judge. That's my issue. Not the jury being not the jury. Anybody that's telling you this jury theory is just talking. I don't trust none of them. Because if you watch the case, it wasn't, the case where he was guilty. Yo, I've told y'all, if I would have sat in that trial, me, as a black man, if I sat in that trial and I watched the evidence, I'd have found him guilty too. So that's why I can't blame the jury. The jury just went off of what they had. I'm not blaming the jury. Because I'd have found him guilty. You got 10 to 15 witnesses coming on there saying Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor. He provoked it. You got questions being asked. Was this self-defense to juveniles? And they say yeah. I'm like, oh shit, first degree murder. Fucking guilty as a bitch. So I can't blame the jury. I can't appreciate it for the subscription. I can't blame the jury for finding him guilty based off of what they had. I can't blame the jury. But I can blame the defense for not fighting. I can blame the defense for advising Carmelo Anthony not to get on the stand. I can blame the defense because y'all allowed questions to get asked and answered without any objection. I can blame the judge for allowing the Carmelo Anthony family, the Austin Metcalf family to cry in court without saying nothing. But I can't blame the jury. I can't blame the jury. I think the jury did, based off the evidence that they had, I think they came up with the best verdict that they can possibly come up with. But 35 years? No, he ain't deserved 35 years, man. Even with me saying it's not self-defense, he didn't deserve 35 years. Maybe 20. 15. Like, for the people that be over here, coming after me, I'm not saying he don't deserve jail time. I'm not saying it was self-defense. I'm saying dealing with the evidence and the circumstances surrounding the stabbing and murder. I'm saying maybe he should have been charged with reckless homicide. Maybe he should have been charged with manslaughter. Yo, I was charged with first-degree murder. You know what my case was? Yo, I was charged with first-degree murder. Premeditated. And my case is totally different from his. In my case, they had cell phone records detailing that this was a setup. over a month's time frame where they alleged that a phone that was connected to me was calling the victim. They had a history of this victim being involved in another crime where somebody was shot. That's first degree murder. That's first degree murder. When you have proof or evidence that this led to this. We didn't have none of that in this situation. These are two people that met on the fly, on the humble. It's not first degree murder, man. At the most, it's second degree. Yeah, I'm not a George Floyd supporter. I think George Floyd was a play. I don't even know if Derek Chauvin even locked up, to be honest. I think George Floyd was a play in order to get Trump out of office. Like, y'all be thinking, y'all be crazy. Y'all black people didn't support Black Lives Matter, man. That was white people, man. That's white people that supported Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter didn't have black support. Y'all crazy as hell. Y'all think black people supported that shit. We wasn't out that bitch riding and protesting. Yo, where the fuck is my grandma house at? Oh. I'm just saying, yo. And we got off topic. But I told y'all Charleston White was a bozo. And Carmelo Anthony Father was a prime suspect. And it's fucked up, yo, because he really need help right now. But what he's realizing, I'm sure this is what he's realizing, is that a lot of these so-called black activists and these black speakers, not really for the black community. He should have taught a Breonna Taylor mother. That's what he should have taught to. He should have taught the Breonna Taylor mother. So she can explain to him how this shit go. Like, are they gonna send people at you that ain't really for you, man? They're gonna send people at you that ain't really for you, man. They railroaded that boy, y'all. Way before the jury was picked. I did a live earlier. Watch that live I did earlier. Did y'all know Judge Roach is retiring in 6 months? Do y'all know what that means? See, yo, y'all ain't never been done dirty by the system, so y'all be thinking this shit. Yo, do y'all know how pivotal it is that Judge Roach is retiring? Well, let me tell you. By him trying this case, and he's about to retire, that means he can face no backlash. He's not going up for re-election. So, no matter what comes out of this case, because this case is going to get appealed. Like, trust and believe, it's getting appealed. No matter what comes out of this case, since he's not going for re-election, it don't even fucking matter. It don't even matter. That's why they gave it to him. Because it don't matter anyway. He leaving. So he was able to be a part of this fucking train track that rolled through Carmelo Anthony and walk away scot-free. Do y'all think, yo, I think it's how many judges? 50-something judges on the panel in Collin County? They give it to the oldest judge that's ready to retire. And the reason why I know that's the issue is because in my case had 4 or 5 judges. Nobody wanted to touch it. None of the experienced judges wanted to touch it. Know who they gave it to? A fucking rookie. A rookie, because they ain't got no say-so. So we all know this case flawed. But we going to try it. But we know it's flawed. It is true. I did a whole video on it. He said out his own mouth. So we're going to give it to the rookie. So if it come back on appeal, if somebody get in trouble We're going to give it to the rookie judge. That's how these people operate, man. Yo, I'm not over here speculating. I'm not over here speculating. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, trust me. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me show y'all. For people that think I'm lying. Listen to this.
I completely abandoned ChatGPT. It just keeps failing me time after time after time, and I just can't.
Listen to this.
Your name and how you spell it.
My name is John Roach. JOHNROACH.
Now, I know the answers to that. I know the answer to that question, but I got to ask it for the record.
100%.
You've been on the bench for some time.
Yep, I've been on the bench for about 20 years.
20 years, and this is the end.
And then 6 months will be in the end.
Did you want to take on this trial?
I wanted.
That man retiring, man. That's why he was able to railroad him like that. He's retiring. There's no consequences. He's not trying to be a top prosecutor. He ain't trying to be in the Senate. He's done. He done. He railroaded him. By time his time is up in 6 months, Carmelo Anthony be still in jail. That appeal process gonna take maybe 2 to 3 years. He gonna be somewhere sitting on the beach, drinking motherfucking Tito's. Man, look, man. I ain't gonna tell y'all nothing wrong, y'all. I'm probably about the fairest person, pro-black person that's speaking on this shit. I ain't saying Carmelo Anthony don't deserve to be in jail. He made a bad mistake. He made a judgment call that was wrong. Yes, you got to face consequences for that. You do. I'm not saying it was self-defense. Based off the evidence, unless it's some other shit that we don't know about. But based off what we heard in court, that wasn't self-defense. But it wasn't first-degree murder either. It wasn't first-degree murder either. Ain't too many people online saying that. It's either they one way or the other way. No, I'm remaining neutral and keeping that shit real at the same time. And I can tell that Carmelo Anthony's father, he's not he's not an alpha male. He's not an alpha male. And I think he's one of them black guys that probably grew up in white communities, grew up around white people. He probably was one of the people that thought racism wasn't a thing. I think it was negligent. I think it was negligent. What the fuck the little kid got charged with? Negligent murder or something like that? I think it was that. That's not what happened, yo. They never got all that money. Carmelo Anthony family never got the money. They got the money in increments. Look. Did Carmelo Anthony family ever get the give go money? Give Send Go cancels Carmelo Anthony family's account.
Give Send Go closed and removed the fundraising account for Carmelo Anthony's family after his conviction. The page, which raised over $630,000, was taken down following the verdict.
How much money from Give Send Go did Carmelo Anthony family receive?
The Carmelo Anthony family received just under $634,000 through an online fundraising campaign.
I don't think they went broke. I think a lot of times with that money, yeah, his mother did buy it. What's it called? Yeah, I did hear that. You're right. I heard it. But I don't think that I think they brought the top-notch attorney. But the attorney just threw him. You know what I mean? I think the attorney bent to pressure. There's pressure on that attorney. They should have got an attorney that wasn't from Texas if they wanted to get a fair trial. Because you gotta put yourself in the attorney. You gotta put yourself in the attorney's seat as well. You got this highly publicized case, and he still gotta practice law there. The whole community know what they want the verdict to be. We talking about Texas. He ain't had no public defender. He had a high profile attorney. So the attorney chose him over Carmelo. That's what happened. The attorney chose him over. What's up, Shane? The attorney chose him over his client, which is wrong, and that's why this case is going to be appealed, not because of no all-white jury. Ineffective counsel is why this case is going to get appealed. That's why this case is going to get appealed. Like, yo, this lawyer, this is a seasoned attorney, y'all. Man, shit cooler. I ain't dumb. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Just don't be surprised. This was a seasoned attorney. He allowed witnesses. Yo, the defense team, the prosecution, asked the witness, was this self-defense? They said, no, this is murder. And he didn't object. The prosecution told one of the witnesses that, did you know this is a black kid? So you know they trying to use the black kids to show this ain't racism. So the prosecution said to one of the black kids, did you know that your mother was Austin Metcalf pediatrician? No objection. No, what Carmelo Anthony lawyer was supposed to say? Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. He said nothing. Hey, y'all can think I don't know what I'm talking about because I ain't got no suit on and I ain't got 500,000 subscribers. Yo, but I think I'm more credible than probably everybody on this fucking app when it comes down to these criminal cases. You can ask the people that have been following my page for the longest. They'll tell you. When it comes down to criminal cases, it's not a person on this internet that's more credible to keep it G News. For real. And we can add the lawyers in it. We can add the bloggers and the lawyers in it. And the people that follow my page will tell you there's nobody more credible than Keep It G News when it comes down to criminal cases. I wish I could have represented him. I did a better job than whatever the fuck his name is. Appreciate it, alright. The prosecution asked witnesses, what happened? What did you see that day? One of the witnesses said that Austin Metcalf pushed him. But he didn't push him to hurt him. Objection. Argumentative. The defense said nothing. Said nothing. He ain't push him to hurt him. How the fuck you know? You're not an expert. You're just a witness. How the fuck do you know he didn't push him to hurt him? You supposed to object to that. He said nothing. He let all of this get on record. The jury heard all of this. That's why I said if I was on the jury, I'd have found him guilty too. First degree murder. Not because it was really first degree murder, but because the defense didn't object to nothing. The defense just let him rock. Well, why they ain't release the video? When are they gonna release the video? Typically after criminal cases, they release the video, y'all. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. But typically after criminal cases, videos get released. For some reason, they haven't released the video yet.
When you know that your home team can get urgent care whenever the unexpected. So they kept.
I'm not saying that it was self-defense, y'all. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying it was self-defense. It wasn't self-defense. It wasn't self-defense. I don't know how many times I can tell y'all that. But it wasn't first-degree murder either.
Bringing up the type of push was like a lineman drill. Let me look up what is a lineman drill. And what does that look like? How to do a lineman drill. All right. And so that's like a lineman drill. Okay. So they kept describing that the push was like a lineman drill. Okay, so he said, when Austin goes to move, Melo stands up as Austin is grabbing in an upward motion like a lineman drill. And then they said,
and that's all I'm saying, y'all. It's like, yo, people be so racist and don't like black people so much. Yo, it was not first degree murder, y'all. It wasn't. Under no definition was it first degree murder. The defense too. Yo, why you never explained the knife? As a defense attorney, why didn't you explain the knife? Why haven't he released a statement? Yo, just think. I just want y'all to use your brain, y'all. Why haven't the defense attorney made a statement yet? In all these other high-profile criminal cases, right after the court over, whether they win or lose, the defense attorney makes a statement. He didn't say he ain't say shit yet. And people wondering why I'm saying he got railroaded. He ain't make a fucking statement. Yo, they did that boy bad, man. They did that boy bad, man. Yo, we not talking about Austin. We talking about the way the trial was handled. We talking about the way the trial was handled. So y'all don't think it's strange? Y'all don't think it's not strange that the defense attorney ain't make a statement? Just think about all the other criminal cases we seen. Y'all really gonna sit here and act like it's not strange that the defense attorney ain't say nothing yet? Y'all can't even answer that question, y'all. Can y'all be real? Can y'all be real and answer that question? I don't fuck with Jasmine Crockett. I'm not a fan of her. See, y'all, come on now. He didn't provide no alternative theories. Zero alternative theories. He didn't explain the knife. He didn't make Carmelo get on the stand. He didn't do nothing he was supposed to do. But listen.
Motion like a lineman drill. And then they said, okay, so what happened after the stabbing? He saw Melo afterwards on the field with a coach. And then they said, well, when you guys were on the bus, did y'all find Carmelo's Instagram? He said yes, and he was excused. The next witness is a 16-year-old boy. He is still in high school, and next year is going to be his junior year.
Listen to this.
Okay, so it says...
Look, he's still in high school. Listen to the questions.
He plays track and football. He does So we're on to the next witness. Let's see. He's a 16-year-old that's still in school. All right, so he played track and he's running hurdles. He goes to Memorial High School. He knew both twins.
Because that's standard. That's standard. You make a statement. Because people got questions. Like me. I got questions. Why did you tell Carmelo not to take the stand when it was obvious he was losing? It was obvious he was losing, but Carmelo Anthony father thought he was winning for some fucking odd reason. I don't know why he thought that. When you got every witness on the stand saying it's damn near the same thing.
You said that you saw him talking and joking around. I don't think I said that. Okay, so you're at the top corner, and he said, I think we had the most under any tent, the most people under any tent. And then he says, Austin and Hunter were near each other under the tent. So you remember saying he was joking around? See, and then this is when I be like, the kids came off so disingenuous.
Exactly. Release the video.
He says, so you remember saying he was joking around, right? He gonna say, he said a singular joke. He told the detectives that before the incident, he was laughing and joking around. But now today, or not today, but yesterday when he took the stand, what he meant was that Carmelo told a singular joke. They said, well, Melo seemed normal and friendly when he first sat down. Yes, sir. You recall Melo saying, don't put your hands on me or something like that? Yes, sir. He says, so Austin stands up and you didn't notice the hand in the bag until Austin said something about it. And then he says, did Eddie stand up? He said, no, Eddie didn't stand up. Austin is calling Melo's bluff. That's how you saw it. Yeah, you can say that. Austin is down a row, but close enough. He just rotates his body to push him. Did you notice one of the other kids stood up? No, sir. Did you notice the other boy tell Austin, don't touch him? No, sir. So another kid down the line, I'm going to read his testimony. When Austin got up and acting like he was about to touch Carmelo, this other student told him, nah, don't touch him. Like, you know. And so they're asking this guy, well, did you notice when like this happened, another student told him don't touch him? He's talking about, no, I didn't see, like, nah, sir. Like, he didn't see all that. So how many kids did you guys have under the tent? He said that it was about 15 to 20 of them under the tent at the time. And he didn't know that Melo knew Eddie. Can you imagine the betrayal? Like, how these kids didn't know that Melo knew Eddie, but they showed several pictures of Melo. Like, when it got time for Eddie on the stand, they showed several pictures of him and Melo together. So can you imagine? You done hung out at Eddie's house. You got picture with Eddie grandma. You got picture with Eddie family. You done put basketball with the boy. Y'all done went on a 2-man double date. And kids don't even know y'all know each other because when they're coming at him sideways, you just standing there egging it on.
Yo, how is she biased and she reading verbatim? See, this shit is... Yo, she's reading verbatim what was said in court. Your favorite blogger, Fox News and Newsmax, they're not doing that. She is reading verbatim what is said in court. How the fuck is she biased? She reading verbatim what was said in court and applying common sense.
Said that it was about 15 to 20 kids under the tent at the time, and he didn't know that Mello knew Eddie. He says Hunter, he thinks, was on his phone, but he let his brother handle it, and he only turned around at the end of the altercation. So his version is that Hunter wasn't involved at all. Like, Hunter was sitting there. He was just looking on his phone while his brother's getting into it with somebody. And he just let Austin handle it, and he just on his phone. Now, some kids say Hunter was involved. Some kids say Hunter was, getting involved with it. And then other kids say Hunter had nothing to do with it at all. He didn't do nothing. He didn't say nothing. He didn't do nothing. He, like, nothing. So he said that Hunter was on his phone, and he just let his brother handle it, and he turned around only at the end of the altercation. They said during the altercation, was Mello standing? He said when Austin goes to move, Mello stands as Austin is grabbing in an upward motion like a lineman drill. So they kept bringing up the type of push was like a lineman drill. Let me look up what is a lineman drill. That the push was like a lineman drill. Okay, so he said when Austin goes to move, Mello stands up as Austin is grabbing in an upward motion like a lineman drill. And then they said, okay, so what happened after the stabbing? He saw Mello afterwards on the field with a coach. And then they said, when you guys were on the bus, did y'all find Carmelo's Instagram? He said yes, and he was excused. The next witness is a 16-year-old boy. He is still in high school, and next year is going to be his junior year. Okay, so it says he plays track. He got some down to the field for the 1600, and everyone else was just chilling. Nothing unusual before the stabbing, except the rain. It wasn't bad until after the stabbing. Look, so they was trying to act.
So now they creating a narrative that it wasn't even raining that hard. These witnesses was all coerced. Y'all gotta remember, when you listen to the witnesses' testimony, that they all coming from the same school. Which means that 9 times out of 10, all their testimony is going to be against Carmelo. Like, if you got to use common sense to take racism out of it.
Him, to set the stage. And then he's like, okay, we go under the tent. We just chilling under the tent. Some kids went and they got to do, their event, their track event. And then some kids were... hold on, where was I at? Some kids were just chilling under the tent, and then so they was like, okay, so how was the weather? Oh, it didn't get bad until after the stabbing. Mello walked up and sat in our tent. I was questioning why he was at our tent, and I thought maybe he was friends with someone. So it could have been all good. He's not from Memorial, so it's weird. Others, and then so they wanted to know, okay, so did you have a problem with him coming to the tent? And he was like, well, I thought maybe he probably knew someone, so I thought it was cool. I thought it was all good. And then they wanted to know, if that happened before, or if he was, speaking to Eddie. He says him and Eddie might have said hi. Everyone questioned why he was over here. Maybe he knew Eddie, but not much. Austin took the lead to take this guy out of our tent. Austin asks, he stated multiple times, he had something in his bag and had his hand in the bag and stabbed him as he pushed him. He says he didn't have a combo about. It says Austin was frustrated. Mello was frustrated. It could have been as easy as him leaving the tent, but he pulled a knife out of his backpack. And they wanted to know, okay, so what kind of push was it? When Austin went up there to push him, what kind of push did he push? He said that it was a light push to the shoulder, just a light push to the shoulder, and it wasn't anything major. They said it was similar to like a lineman drill. He said it was less than that. Said it was a one-hand nudge. And then they said, are you sure about that? He said he was sure about that. It was a lot of, why are you under this tent? It wasn't aggressive until he decided not to listen. So them calling him out and telling him he needs to leave, he don't belong there, he needs to get to stepping, that wasn't aggressive. It only became aggressive because he didn't want to leave. So it says he decided not to listen, and as it escalated, his tone got more aggressive. Austin, so then they wanted to know, what was Austin's demeanor? Like, how was he? What was his vibe? He said Austin was a little frustrated, but it wasn't like he was trying to start something. Austin wanted him out of there, and if it came to fighting him, that's what he was going to do. He said Austin wanted him out of there, and if it came to fighting him, that's what he was going to do. They said, did it surprise you about him having a weapon at a track meet? So then this is when they say they buzzword. Would it surprise you that he had a weapon at a track meet? He says, I would never think anyone would have a knife at a track meet. I wrote, very coached answer. That's I would never think somebody would have a knife at a track meet. I put very coached answer.
Hey, Shane, let him rock out, Shane. Let him rock out.
Austin jumps up saying, I got stabbed. Mello jumps up and throws the knife. Hunter is right beside Austin. He wasn't involved much once it happened. He got involved and held Austin. And then they were like, okay, so normally when there's a fight about to happen, kids get rowdy. They start acting like they're recording or whatever. Like, what do you think about fight videos? And when, kids like act like they like recording a fight and all that. He said he thinks that fight videos are funny, but nobody under the tent saw this coming. He told them where the knife was, and they took him straight to the police station. And they took him straight to the police station. They wanted to know.
She's not lying, yo. She's reading verbatim what the fuck was said. She ain't lying, man. Fuck is she lying? Like, you think she just wrote all this down, just made it up? She's not fucking lying, man. The people that y'all watching was lying.
How did Carmelo get out the tent? They said it was a walk, then jog, then walk, and then he was calm. And then they wanted to know, what was Carmelo trying to do? Like, was he trying to escape or something when he was doing this? And then he said that he think he was just trying to get away from the other athletes and police. Did anyone point him out to one of the heritage coaches? And what was Austin? Austin screamed and he says, I got stabbed. And he says he didn't see the wound, but he saw the blood spot. And it says, well, in your opinion, was this stabbing done in self-defense? He said, no, sir.
Objection. Objection. This is what I'm saying, y'all. Yo, the defense attorney was never supposed to allow that answer to go on record? If you're asking a 16-year-old, was this self-defense? How the fuck do a 16? Yo, what's the odds? What's the chances of a 16-year-old knowing the self-defense laws in Texas? That's why I'm even in this situation. Carmelo Anthony didn't know the self-defense laws in Texas. Opinions are not allowed, bro. They're not allowed. Cooking up. They're not allowed. But the defense attorney allowed it all. I don't support George Floyd, y'all. The defense attorney allowed it all. And that's the reason why I'm saying he got thrown. Not because of the all-white jury. Not because he stabbed Anthony Austin Metcalf. It's because the defense allowed things to go on record that he should have never allowed. He supposed to object it. Once the prosecution asked him that question, it supposed to have been a stern objection. And then let the judge decide, is this sustained or overruled? Right. I keep telling y'all, I'm not saying this was self-defense. It wasn't self-defense. It was not self-defense. I wish I could say it in Spanish and French. But it wasn't first-degree murder either. It wasn't first-degree murder. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was the same thing that Casey Allison got charged with. That's what Carmelo Anthony should have been found guilty on. Negligent homicide. It was negligent homicide. Second degree murder. I can even go with second degree murder. I can go with second degree murder. Even though that's a bit excessive. Yeah, they don't care, bro. They don't care, Shane. They just want to be racist. Like, yo, this is about as fair as they're going to get on YouTube coming from somebody that's pro-black. Like, I'm not on here saying that he need to be free. I ain't on here saying that. I ain't never said that. But what I'm saying is, yo, 35 years is excessive. First degree murder is excessive. That's not what that was. What I'm saying is, the judge, the DA, the defense attorney was all in cahoots, and they railroaded that boy. That's what I'm saying. And I'm going to leave it at that. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Charleston White is a bozo. I wish I could talk to Carmelo Anthony family and give them some advice, like some real advice. Not no, I ain't with no organization. You feel me? I ain't trying to swindle them. I just want them to make the best decisions for their child, man, moving forward. Because that's the only thing we can do is move forward. And I think there's a lot of people around him that don't got his best interest. They don't got his best interest. And I think him not being him damn near being like a beta male, they're taking full advantage of that. But Charles White putting out videos saying that I'm going to give him $75K and I'm going to do that. None of that shit was real. None of it was real. It was all clout chasing. And I'm out.